the system need to. Okay. Hello to everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever you want. Just stay now. The person that I had in front of me, I was reading many things about you for many years and speak with many coaches about you. I was checking material about you for a lot of
Thank
time.
you.
This man is Stephen. I don't know if I will pronounce very well because French for me is a little difficult. Stephen Lecat. It's okay. I say.
Yeah, it's perfect.
I would try. I just show a little information about this man. You will see that why I am too anxious to speak with him. Yeah. For instance, um, it's just important that you know that we are in front of one of the men who explore the open waters discipline. He developed many important things for all of us. It's amazing when someone have to check the information about this man, and especially the way that he's working now, and all the responsibility that he has about the develop our activity, and the most important swimmer from France. And we are very happy that you heard your experience today to talk about the profession to be a coach. That sometimes people forget that there are very long story behind the coaches and the success of the coaches. Well, Steve, I don't want to say no more, but hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Hello to everybody. I'm okay. Right now, I am in in training camp in Turkey. So, as you know, Alexandro, Turkey had terrible problem few weeks ago with in Istanbul or some part of the country. But
Yeah.
we are in Belek, not so far from Antalya, and everything is doing well here. And we do a great training camp with some swimmers. And I'm okay, no problem. Everything is doing very well.
Oh, I can imagine the environment over there now, just now. The feeling from the people
Yeah,
about
some people are very sad, but because they have some people from the family, they had some terrible problem. But we try to give them what we can do, what we can give them, and the life have to be continued. You know, the life sometimes is very hard, and you understand sport is important, but not so much important in this in case.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I can imagine the situation now. Well, we will start now with for me, one of the most important questions every time that I have the opportunity to speak with someone. My first question: who is Stephen Lecat? Because we can read many things about you, but the most important thing, what you think about yourself.
Wow, what I think about myself. I try to be a great person, but I don't know if I am a great person, but I do my best. And as everybody, you know, sometimes you do something very good, and sometimes you do something not so good. But the most important is to understand how you manage your life. And sometimes you do wrong thing, but the most important is understand why you do wrong thing and not to do again the same thing. Life is a experience, so every experience is very important to understand how you manage it to be better after. So I like once say when you say you never felt, you just understand what's happened and go ahead. And Stefan Lecat is a passionate person. I love the swimming. I love sports, and I love my family. I love my friends, my real friend, and not specifically in a sport or in a swimming, And I believe on them, and this is the most important for me.
Yes, I think we will go a little deep in a few minutes, but maybe the question I would like to know really uh, how you can define yourself if
Mhm.
because if I can step in front of you from this position and say, okay, Stephen is the head coach of France swimmers. I can step from
Mm.
this position and can say, okay, Stephen is a very, very interesting man, a very intelligent man. Or I can stay in this place and say, okay, Stephen is a man who loves to drink coffee in the morning. You know, yeah. There are a very important point where you don't have doubt who are you in this moment, because I know very well that you are here now in this position because you don't have doubt where you want to be and where you want to go.
No, it's not true. I have some doubt sometimes. I can tell you, but it's not negative to have some doubt sometimes. What is negative for me is to have the doubt when you are in action. But before the action, sometimes you have some doubt. That's why you to try to understand the situation, and after to define the way you want to go for this situation. So me, I try to understand who I am every day, because I'm not the same person when I was 20 years old, 30 years old, and now I am 51 years old. And definitely I changed because I managed some experience, great moments, bad moments, of course, like everybody. And I try to understand every situation, if I did good or not. But anyway, for sure, sometimes I manage very bad. Sometimes I manage very well. Apparently, I did more better than the bad. But because my life, if I can say my life is, I love my life because the life is doing very so fast, too fast for me. We love to come back when I was 20 years old, but he's done. Between 20 years old to now, the times pass so fast, and I think it passed so fast because my life was so heavy,
Intensive,
so yeah, intensive, yeah, a lot.
intensive.
And I have many moments very intensive with a great emotion. Where for me, the most important is to share with the people I love, and I love or I work is different. But I like to share the moment with the people in my job where I work, and I love to share the people personal things, personal moments with the people I love. If I this is for me, this is the most important of my life, to give what I can give at the people where with I have a project, personal project or professional project.
Like a mentor, something like this.
I don't know, it's a great word, mentor. I don't know if I am a mentor. I don't know if I'm a good person. Really, um, the people maybe can say some. I'm sure you can find people they don't like me and they think I'm a very bad person. It's possible, huh? I don't know. but doesn't matter. The most important for me is to do my best I can do, and the most important for me is to be better tomorrow than I was yesterday.
Yes, I understand. Yeah. When you, I think when you select this profession, and the day the day by day is the intensity is increasing in many areas. Um, you sometimes you lose yourself. It's happened with me. Sometimes I lose myself. Was thinking a week ago what I was thinking, and now I think other things because the circumstances change all the time.
Yeah, and we work with people, so every people are different. With because you have different education, and what is hard, but it was what is very is great and intensive and very interesting to understand how you can manage and the people, how you can try to understand how they think, how you can capture them, and how you can manage them, and how you can help them. And sometimes you can, and sometimes not, because they are they are blocking, and you don't find the window or the door where you can help them. So for me, it's hard sometimes because and even for the same person, in my career, sometimes I find a way to help the people to share the people the good way, and maybe for the same people 5 or 10 years ago after, it's not possible because they are different, and we don't find the way to work together because we don't find the same way, and they change. I change, they change. So well, for the same person sometimes it's different. So but it's very interesting, our job to coach and to manage people. It's very interesting because you have to adapt and to find a way, and sometimes you find and sometimes no, but the most important is to find most of the time you can.
Yes, I understand you. Okay, I have other question for you, but I will use a little ahead because I think I can explore some part of you now. Um, for me, all the important question, and for all the people, is why you decide to be a coach? Because some the people, the social media, the books create a fantasy about the profession, and
Hmm?
sometimes people don't understand how many things you have to pass in your profession.
Well, for me, when I was, I think, between 14, 15 years old, I wanted to be a coach. It was very very early for me I understood that I wanted to do this job. So well, because I love sport, I think my parents give me the feeling for that, and I think I love that. I love and the sport is fantastic because you can have a great sensation and great emotion with the people to share with the people. And sport is a fantastic job and environment where you can have great emotion with the people. And well, so that's why I wanted to be a coach, because I love sport. I love performance. And when I say performance, it's not only win the medals. It could be a performance with a swimmer. He's not a great level, but he's doing a great performance for him. At his level. And but of course, when you win a medals at the Olympic Games or at the World, it's fantastic. It's fantastic moment for them. And if you help them for 1 or 2%, it's a great moment for me. And but it's not my moment. It's the moment of the athletes. But I like that. I like that.
Um, the the natural question is how did you start? It's simple.
Well, I started when I was 17 years old. I decided to learn the specific um, university for sport at the low level, and I got it 2 years after. I was with a great guy, very important in France. The name is Claude Fauquet. He teach me the most important for me to understand how works a water sport in philosophy, in physiology, in technique, in biomechanic. Well, I think the beginning of everything to the well, and after that, I used to swim myself, but every year I try to understand to begin a new chapter of my life, a new chapter of my university, to understand how I can be better to be a coach or to be a manager. And finally, I was not really good at the school. uh, not bad, but not fantastic. I was, but when I begin to teach and to learn everything about sport, I was totally focused, and I was good after. And finally, I got the most level I can have in France for to be a manager and coach, just because I love sport and just because I wanted to understand how works the high level sport. And so the sport give me the opportunity to be in a great level in my life. Without sport, I will be, I don't know what I will be, but I'm not sure I will be with you to speak about sport. For sure, I will be maybe a good person, but for sure. But I hope, but not with everything sounds great. For me, maybe my life will be less intensive. But anyway, I start to be coach because I love sport, and I love the moment who can achieve the person exceptional, singular. I love the singularity. I love when the people do something at this moment, nobody can do it. And I love when it's hard for the people to understand how these people can do this. You know, uh, like um, like Bob Beamon, when Bob Beamon jumped 8 meters 82 in a long jump in Mexico. Everybody was in shock and don't understand how this guy did it. Uh, for me, it's exceptional. And after that, for 20, 40 years, people try to understand how this guy and manage it. And I love that because it's very interesting. This guy helped the people to be better, not because he did this performance, but because he managed everything to be this person. He did this performance, like Mark Spitz, like Michael Phelps, like Florian Velbrock. What he did in Tokyo was for the 10K was exceptional. While what did Ana Marcela Cunha, was for me is a great career because Anna was nearly the last woman in London at the 10K. She was she was very far from the first. In Tokyo, 10 years after, she's first. She's Olympic champion, and in 10 years, she changed many things. And it's what for me it's incredible because you can see in this person, um, she achieved a lot of work to be better in his sport on his goal.
Um, all my life, I work like a coach assistant. Yeah, to my hair coach. Um, and I saw um, things that escape from the normally. I saw series, I saw swimmers that they did things that no it's not described in any book or described in any, I don't know, in I saw things that escape from the training methodology, the training theory, escape from the training philosophy of every coach. And 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 I have the opportunity um, to watch it only 2 meters from
Yeah,
me. Uh,
front of me.
a battle, for instance, in the Santa Fe Coronda race, I saw a battle, a battle for more than 5 kilometers, fighting and fighting, and and I say, I can't believe that they are watching. It's incredible. I can understand. I can understand what happened, and it's real. It's happening in front of me, and I can understand it. And I passed many days after the race trying to understand what happened, how it's possible that a man can do that. Um, um,
Yeah.
um,
Well,
I know you
it's
had many memories.
yeah. Sometimes I did sometimes something it was hard to understand how you manage, but I think that while we use maybe 20 or 30% of our capacity, mental capacity, and of course physiology, technique, biomechanic, everything is very important. But mental is doing with the mental things you can do, can achieve a lot of things, and you can do many things. And
I know,
the,
I know.
the mind, the
It's
mind,
impossible to express.
yeah, and the mind is. I think it's one part where we can work a lot of, because maybe we understand maybe 40% of what we can do with the mind. And well, and it was a part of my system when I used to be swimmer. I began to work with mental things so thoroughly when I used to be swimmer in 90s and 2000. I work with a specialist about mind, with about mental things, because I was sure it was very important. It was, and it helped me a lot. And well, and that's why sometimes you can see some athletes, some swimmers, they do a battle and they do something incredible. And where you are, you first of all, in January, when uh, when an athlete is happy, is fast. This
When the
is a
athlete is
simple thing.
happy, it's fast. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. This is the most important for me. So if I can give something to the coach, a young coach, makes your athletes happy. And when they are happy, they swim fast for sure. Because for sure, when they are unhappy, they will never swim fast.
Well, I have thousands questions about this topic, thousand, because I saw many things walking beside the pool and taking time for many hours, for many years. But okay, I will do the question because it's, I saw after more than 40 hours training in the week with gym, pool, and many other things. I saw people, you know, beside the pool, and they can move the body, and suddenly the coach say the right word in the right moment with the right tone, and he can do a little more. And why? How? You know, uh, I saw many situations like this in competitions, and I say, how? How? It's not normal.
Um,
A swimmer is not a normal person.
the champion is not a normal person at the right moment. Everybody is different. Huh? That's why it's nice because you can see many people with different strategy, with different well, and well, I think a great coach is to understand the feeling of the athletes every day. A great coach when he's looking in the first seconds the swimmers arrive on the swimming pool, how and when he see how he walk, how he speak, he can understand what's happened in his life. So if this is a great coach, you don't need always, the analysis and the data and everything to understand how you is your swimmers. And for me, it's a great coach is to understand how is your athlete, the profile of the athletes, how you can manage them, and how is your athlete every day. And sometimes adapt your program because in your program in your the week or sometimes you do okay, Monday, Tuesday we will do this program, but sometimes it's not possible because sometimes life deliver you or give you good moment or bad moment, and mentally it's not easy to accept that. That's why if you are not ready to push a lot of your body, it's not necessary to push this day. Maybe it's better to wait, and maybe you check with Monday with Tuesday or something like that, and because you have to take in consideration the moment of the life of your athlete. Of course you have a plan, but the life is not a plan. Sometimes you meet somebody and change your life in a good way and a bad way. And well, this is just life, and it takes experience. It's not always negative. Sometimes you think the moment you live is negative, but I think, in every situation you think everything is negative, you have for sure something positive. But the most hardest is to find where is the the part of the positive. Because when it's negative for you, you think everything is black. But for sure, you have something you can use to be better.
Um, I learned all these years. I learned something that for me is true. That sometimes, no, sometimes, always, when the coach believes in the program have more. Um, it will be successful because if you believe in your program and you can convince your streamers to follow the program, you
Mm.
have a fact, you have something, you have philosophy, you have an strong idea that you can do something. But the problem sometimes is when the streamer don't believe in the program. What
Well, I think maybe you need to convince the swimmer. I think your your attitude, your words, your strategy is the key for the swimmer go in your projects and your strategy. But if you try to convince him by word or with a lot of speak, for me, okay, you can explain one time, two times what you want to do and the way you want to go with him. But if you need to convince him many times, for me, it's no sense because is the swimmer have to believe in you. Of course, the coach believes the swimmer because he coach him, but he have a project with him. But if the swimmer don't believe the coach, you can do what you want, huh? If you don't believe you, and athletes and coach, they are together, huh? And it's a great meeting together. And sometimes, like the life, huh? sometimes to bet on coach, they don't. The feeling is not good, huh? And sometimes just because the moment is they don't understand itself. So maybe it's better to change the coach because they don't understand the strategy. And well, it's better to say once, okay, I think, well, I'm not a good person for you because you don't understand my word, you don't understand my strategy, and I can't give you my power, I can't give you my philosophy, I can offer you my energy, and you will be with another coach. And I will, well, it's not because you, it's not because me, it's just because we are different.
Yes, my head coach teach me that you have to be sensitive with the with your swimmer,
Yeah,
and you have to understand how they feel and how they think all the time. You
yeah,
have all the time open your eyes and pay attention. Focus all your focus in your swimmer always.
yeah, yeah. It's hard, huh? Because sometimes it's not easy to be focused, huh? Always 100%. We are human, huh? Human sometimes is in great shape, sometimes no. But you have to be focused. I agree with that. Yeah.
You had been a very important for the history of the swimmers, especially for open water swimmers, and you are important now for to develop swimmers. And my fundamental, stupid and fundamental question now, under your point of view, is what is a swimmer?
Wow. Depend the level of the swimmer.
You can
But
you will not believe it, but sometimes coaches can't answer this question. They can't define me how what is a swimmer for he or her.
well, for me, a swimmer is a person. Well, well, in English, it's not easy for me, huh? But
I
to
know.
define that. But
Not only believe me, not only for you. Believe me.
no, but for me, a swimmer is a person who's uh, who's practicing in an element, the water, where you have to be in one point to the other point fast as possible when he's doing for competition with a minimum of effort. So it's a nonsense because he have to be fast, but the minimum effort. And sometimes when I try to explain that at the swimmers, they say, if you want to be in the best in the world, you have to be I don't know the name in English, but you have to swim with a minimum effort you can do for each speed. You look at me, say, why do you say? Because if I want to swim fast, I have to push a lot. Yeah, but the best swimmer, for the same level of effort, they do less, just because they have the best body position in the element, so in the water, for less resistance.
I
Because
think.
with
Sorry. Continue, please.
what
Go
I
ahead.
love in swimming is that the swimmer have to be very intelligent, and you have to think not to swim against the water, but you have to swim with the water and to understand the element why you swim, why you do the effort, And for me, this is a swimmer. The swimmer is understand where he is doing the practice and to manage it. We are not on the wall, we are in the water. So you have to manage, and specifically in open water. That's why I love open water, because when you are in open water, you have an element in the water, but you have waves, you have cold water, you have currents against you, with you, and And the line is not always the same line. You know, when you swim Santa Fe Coronda, sometimes the faster way is not the right line. Sometimes you have to to go on the right and after on the left, because the current is on the right and the left. And for you, when you look, you say, okay, I'm going on the left because it's the distance shorter, but it's not the key. So that you have to understand the element. You have to manage with that. You have to respect the environment where you practice. This is very interesting for me.
I know, I know. It's something like, for instance, I don't know. I always try to describe like the string line in swimming is everything. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
um, and you have to pay attention to every stroke and every kick that you are doing in this moment, because you all the time you you have to keep your middle line. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
everything that is far from the middle line is will be finished in a chaos, in a disaster, and you will lose your focus. You all the time. Maybe one way to define a swimmer for me is is a human who try to keep all the time the middle line and
Mm-hmm.
all the things that involve this situation
It's possible, yeah. We agree, yeah.
in a
Yeah,
philosophical way speaking. Maybe
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
going
yeah. Yeah.
maybe, but I don't know. But I have a, a question, because when you say France, I always think in speed. No, I always think in speed. Um, and I love to watch the races, speed races, and try to know how it changes all the time, the technique, the situation, the environment, etc., etc., etc. But I know very well that if we speak about long distance swimmers, we are talking about all the different things. And my question now is,
Mm.
what is that a long distance swimmer? What is, I know it's maybe a little philosophical question, but what it means to be a long distance swimmer?
Ouais, long distance, the person who loves the adventure. Every race is an adventure. It's you never know exactly what will happen in the race. So when you are in a pool, it's easy. You are in a lane. Everybody have each swimmer have a lane, and you know exactly the distance you will swim. 100 is 100, 50 50, 1500 is 1500. But when you swim a 25K, or when you swim Santa Fe Coronda, they say, okay, it's 57, but sometimes you will do 58, or sometimes you will swim 56. You never know. And so when you are a long distance swimmer, you have to accept that, okay, we give the swimmer some information about the race. It will be a 10K. The boy will be 4 boys. Okay, but who knows? Who knows if you will meet a shark, or if you will meet a dolphin, or whales, or you never know. Who knows if you are another swimmer hit you or not? Well, you have to manage everything. So for me, a long distance swimmer the distance swimmer is a adventure swimmer. Is a wide swimmer. Is a well The open water swimmer, they are something more than the other, because they are not in a pool. They are in the wide, and they have to manage the wide. Cold water, hot water, waves, no waves, currents, and you have to understand. The best open water swimmer, they understand how to manage all the things that can happen in open water, and you have many things, because you are not in a lane. because you are not in a pool where you have 27 degrees for sure. Sometimes you have 16, sometimes you have 4 degrees for the ice swimmer, and sometimes you have 30 degrees. Look, in Tokyo, the swimmers swim in 30 degrees. So you have to manage that. You have to accept that. And you have to accept what the give you the wild, damn nature. You have to accept that and to manage that and to prepare that. And what is it's for me, it's not only the performance, it's not only training in a pool or in open water, speed. It's not only that. You have many things to take in consideration. And I think it's what is very interesting for the coach and the swimmer. Okay, okay. Next Olympic Games will be in Paris in the Seine. Okay, and you will have a race against the currents, with the currents. It will be the first time in the history of the World Championship in international competition for the World or Olympic Games. We will be a race like that, with the currents or against the currents. Never happened before. Only in Santa Fe Coronda. Only in Santa
Yes.
Fe Coronda.
My first experience was 1 hour and a half, and I say many times, "What are you doing here? Why why I accept to do this with this streamer? I am crazy. No, what are you doing here? The sun suddenly start to rain, the wind, and say, oh, can I say something?
Yes,
What are you
yes.
doing
I
here?
can tell you something. I think 90% of the race I begin when I were used to be swimmer, the question is why I'm here. Why I will swim 10 hours. It will be at the first 30 minutes of the race, every time, nearly every time. But finally after the race on my project, I forgot this question and I continue to swim. But what is very good is I can give you some many history about my race in open water. Many history, incredible history. When you swam 400 freestyle in a pool, okay, you start, you dive, you turns, you swim, you touch, you have the time. That's it. But me,
um,
I can tell you many history about my race.
yeah, I know. We need a week. Speak a week.
Maybe not, but incredible history sometimes.
Yeah, I know. I listened many history from you. Many.
I don't know which one, but sometimes it's not true. Huh?
It's not my fault. Okay, why you decide to swim open waters?
Well, I used to be a good swimmer in the pool, uh, and I was pretty good when we swam in a part of the season where the training was very long, with very heavy with the volume, and my level was very always higher on the other. So one month I say myself, and not it's not a coach, but I understood that maybe it was the beginning of the open water. It was in 1994. I'd say maybe my way is in open water because when I swim 90 kilometers or 100 kilometers by week, I'm again in shape and recovery very fast. So maybe open water is my specialty. And I tried one time, 1994, and I won my first race. And I qualified for the World Championships in Roma in 1994. And after, well, I write my history. But I find my way. But I say many times. I say to my students, and when I speak to the student and the people, I say, in each person in the world have a talent. The challenge of life is to find which talent you have in which part. Maybe it's financial, maybe it's in the sport. Which sport? Football, basketball, I don't know, swimming, or maybe it's in a cinema, a movie, or theater. I don't know. But the challenge of life is to find where you are a great talent, and when you find where you are a great talent, your life is nice because you can achieve many things because you are an expert. So I don't know if I was an expert or if I am an expert in open water. I don't know. I really don't know because it's not because I won some race and we did a good result as a French. I don't know. I really don't know if I am an expert, but what I can say is I love this sport and I think I understand more than I understand in the other sport.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. Totally. Uh, I will change some question here. I will put this question for you because for me it's very important. What means the responsibility for a coach? What means being a coach? The word responsibility.
Well, it's great
I
and it's
know.
important because when you are a coach, you have a part of education for the swimmers, and sometimes, the attitude, the word you have with the swimmer can be great or can be a disaster. So sometimes you do very well, and sometimes it's as I told you at the beginning of the speaker. Sometimes you felt some swimmer with your word, with your attitude, and because you didn't find the key for this swimmer. But responsibility is so high because you work with people. You are not front of the machine. You are with people, and sometimes the people they will never achieve the dream to be the best swimmer in the world. They think they can, but they will be never, and it could be a disaster mentally for them for the rest of the life. So your responsibility is to help them to understand that swimming is not only performance. Swimming is not only swimming. Swimming is a part of your life where you can understand many things for the rest of your life because it is a life at school, like can be football or rugby or basketball or I don't know another sports. And the part of this life when you practice swimming with your coach will help you for the rest of your life in your professional life and personal life. How you will manage your professional work. For me, I'm sure when you understand how you manage well your swimming, when you train 2 times a day, you have to organize your life about that with the school, with the university. To be after that to work in a great big agency it's not hard for you because you know what is how you manage. You know what is wake up early in the morning to go at the practice and after to go at the university to take care about your food, to take care of you about your sleep, and yeah, you are in the project and you have I don't know 40, 13, 14, 15 years old, and many kids they begin to understand that when they are 20, 21, 22, 23 years old, or sometimes never. So you have a great responsibility because you can help every person to understand how to manage best the rest of the life. Because you swim when you are a good swimmer, you can swim. I don't know, 20, 22 years old. When you're a great swimmer, you can swim until 30 years old, maybe. But you have again 50 or 50 years again in your personal life to manage. It's a lot. It's just
You
a
know,
part of your life.
no, no, sorry. Just to share with you. Sometimes I can see coaches that finish your work, the work, and go home, and I can do that. For instance, I finish my work and I stay in my home 3 4 hours thinking why I did this, why I spoke. Oh, fuck, I have to think again. And sometimes I woke up in the middle of the night saying, okay, was that? Oh, no, why I did that? and sometimes nobody understands this situation. I know it's not the right way to follow the profession, but it's sometimes inevitable for me to
Yeah.
continue thinking.
Hmm. But I think it's everything for every job. Huh? If you are passionate with your job, it could be in the bank. It could be I don't know everything. Because you want to be an expert. You want to be professional. You want to achieve. You want to be happy in your job and in your life. So you do your best. But well, that's why I think to be coach is a great responsibility. Yeah, because we work with the people.
Okay, very well. And now my other important question is, how is a coach building? How you becoming a coach? You or wherever.
Mhm.
How, because I I decide to be a coach because I love to teach. I can define
Mhm.
myself loving to teach, and
Mhm.
and and love to improve situations for others.
Mhm.
But this is my
Mhm.
definition. But every time that I have to do this question, I receive different answers.
Well, to be to be to be a coach, to be better a coach, to build a coach. For me, it's when you have the capacity to watch, to analyze, to listen. You know, great coach, not so far around you, like a father of job, like a father of coach, and you build you understand more your profession when you try to understand, like as we said before, huh, with the people with who you work. First of all, with the swimmers, and after the people who works with you. Every person give you something to be better every day, and that's why it's important to take the time to listen the people and to analyze the people, and to keep what you want to keep for you. For me, the first capacity a great coach is the observation. If you are not the capacity to observe what's happened around you, to feel what's happened around you, I'm not sure you can be a great coach.
Okay, I get this concept. I get this concept. In your case, what is means you have the French team under your control, under your coaching? What means, because I know
For me,
it's not a simple answer, and I know that you have to face many situations every day in every moment.
what mean for me is the responsibility to be in open water in France.
Yes.
I don't know. Like what I can tell you, if it's not easy every day, for sure. Uh, you know, I don't. It's hard to understand to speak about that because sometimes it's great, sometimes not. I can tell you. I can tell you. Sometimes I'm frustrated about what's happened in open water in France because the thing is not going in a way where I would love. But I have to accept that, and I have to manage it. What I think it's everywhere in the world, in every country. Maybe not in Argentina, but in every country, the first discipline in swimming for every federation, international federation, the first discipline is pool, swimming pool. First, number one. and after the swimming pool, you have the other.
I totally agree with you. Believe me.
And but it's normal, because in the history of our sports, pool was always here. Um, Always here. Open water was too because we began to swim in the river, we began to swim in the lake. But well, there are many events, and well, so you have to accept that. And the life sometimes my responsibility in French open water is sometimes is nice, sometimes it's not easy. Well, maybe before it was easier for me because we was at the beginning of the open water in France, and we had a great success. But what can I understand? It's when you have a great success with some swimmer. Um, After this moment, you can have other problems to manage. It's not because you have great success that everything will be better. When you have a great success, it's good, but you have other problem to manage. And it's very interesting to see that and to manage. It's not easy, but it's life. And well, anyway, I'm happy to work with open water in France still. And but well, it's actually for me, it's harder than before.
Yes, to be clear, for the people, you don't have a normal life. Yes, you travel all the
No, but
time. You
what,
have to
Alejandro,
spend good.
what is a normal life?
I don't know. A normal life is a person who work, travel for for holidays or small. Um,
I don't
you
know
got
what is
me.
a normal life.
You got me. You got me. Okay. Okay. You're right.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
right.
I don't know. I really don't know what is normal life. Some people in Argentina, some people in France, they never go in holidays. Well,
Um. Yeah. I did a mistake because sometimes I think that the normal life is a person who go to the office, do he or her job, come back to home, and speak with his children, his wife, his husband, and I don't know. The lives continue, um,
yeah,
but
but the people imagine the people can't have children. What's happened?
yes, I know, I know, I know, I know, I know, I know.
So it's like a people. I used to work with a handicap swimmer, Theo Curin, who swam the
Hmm.
Santa Fe Coronda. He's an amazing person, amazing swimmer, amazing athlete. And when you work with this kind of people, it's not because they're handicapped, Theo, but it gives you a lot, and you understand what. It was a question for me: what is normal? Uh, and the normality is what is to be have two arms on two legs. But no, what is normal? Who say the normality is to have two legs and two arms? I don't know. It's um,
Your perception.
yeah, it's how we understand the life. But Theo is a very smart person, funny guy, very smart, very clever, and I can tell you, he's more clever than some swimmer I can manage sometimes. Incredible, and well, the normality for me is where you put the line on the normality.
Okay. Okay, it's okay. Okay, okay, okay. I agree. I agree. In a simple words, I agree. You know, some once the wife of my hair coach say to the parents, because I don't remember very well. I think a mother asked to these women, how you can live with your husband. He's never at home. He's travel all the time around the world and blah blah blah, and how you can how the marriage function, because the keys, what happened with the keys. And she said in a very clever way, you have to understand something. For a coach, i don't I don't want to say for all the coach, for my husband, his sons are the streamer. If you had 100 streamers, it's the streamer 101, 102, and 103.
Mhm. Mhm.
This is
Yeah,
this is the way that we live at home. And
yeah, yeah,
this concept was very clever for me, was
Mhm.
very clear that what means for a coach to try to have I don't know if a normal life now, but to have a common life, with other responsibilities out of the pool, or out of the
yeah,
river, or out of the sea.
Mhm. Yeah,
Fernando Pocente said to me once that everything that I do in this life is for have more time with my kids, because working as a coach, I give to them less time, and now I am trying to
yeah.
give more time.
For my kids or my wife, the most important is not the time I pass with them, is the intensity I pass with them. Because you have people, woman and man, they are full time with the children, but they are with them physically, but mentally they do nothing.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I know.
So
My
what is the best is to when you are with us with your kid or with your wife, and to share with them a lot of experience, lot of moment, to send to show them that you love them, or to be a lot of time with them, but to stay in your living room to watch the TV, and just to share the moment of the moment of you eat, and you are on your telephone, and well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know
Uh,
exactly what you mean.
so
Because, for instance, this is a question is for you. I didn't know if I had to ask you or no, but is
yeah,
I think, and this point is very important. It's important to share, to have someone to share the things and why. Because
yeah,
other coaches say to me, in Rio de Janeiro in the 2016 games, when he coached tennis, no, he won a medal, and say, I wanted to finish everything, call my wife and say, hello, we we win, and she's not there. She was in Argentina, and and I have this feeling, this needed to share with her my
hmm,
emotions, and
yeah, I
she
understand, yeah.
she couldn't come with me.
Yeah, I agree with that. The most important person for me is my wife, to share the moment, because she's always here when she can see me, she can listen me, she can show me how I am really, really who I am when I am at home. Maybe when I'm speaking with you, I am a different person. That's why when we began your interview, I told you sometimes I have some doubt, because I come back at home and I don't know if I did a good job or not, and I share with her. I share with my wife, and I say, well, this is what's happened, and what do you think about that? Because she's not inside always, so she can understand differently,
Yeah.
sometimes. And she's a person of my life, like my children. But my children, I can give them all the pressure I have sometimes. So well, and but on the well, well, for me, it's important to have someone to share everything. Not maybe everything. Sometimes I keep something for me, of course, because give you some balance in with your analyze what you do the situations. And
Yes.
well, to share the great moment with the people of your life is very important, because when you are a coach, sometimes like it's not easy. You you live for 3, 4, 5 weeks out of home, and well, it's important to share with them the moment.
I got you. I got you for this question, and I want to know how you will escape from this question.
What is the meaning of the word?
Love for you, because I
Well,
always ask many coaches what is the meaning of love, and it's incredible because I received many different concepts and and ideas about it.
well, confidence.
Confidence,
Yeah, when you
yourself
are love,
to others.
yeah, love is confidence. Different percent of the love, but different love. But when you love somebody, you are in confidence, and well, that's it. You are with the people who you love. You normally, you are never surprised because you know them very well, because you believe them. You know, a great person in France say who works in the military. He will at top level say a great captain is a great captain. They don't need to be always with a team, uh, because the team know every time what he will do when the situation is very, very, very intense, and
Intent.
yeah, and they know what he will do. They are never surprised about it because they know him very well. So the boss and the great person, they give at the other around them how is manage the work and the life well. But and well, love for me is that, you are never surprised, and you can believe of these people.
Um,
That's why in my job,
yeah.
I have no not much people with love,
I try to translate this concept from the Spanish to in English. I don't know if it will be clear, but
Mhm.
it's sometimes a very good question. At the in Spanish, I would say first in Spanish because I know that you understand a little. I say cuando se te queman los libros. Yes, when you don't have much research. Who who is your, for instance, I always call my hair coach and say I have this problem, what I can do. You have someone.
Well, mm, no, it depends. Me, I think first of all, I stopped to I'm in my, I don't know, in my living room or in a place, and I think about that, and I think what's happened. I analyze everything, and I try to take the time to analyze. And after, if I need, I share with my wife.
Yes.
And if it's in my job, well, I share with my boss. And but first of all, I stop and I try to analyze what's happened before to do something.
Uh, I will only show you this question. It's not for answer. It's just for you. Maybe
Hmm?
in 1 year or 10 years ahead, you will answer me this question or not.
Hmm? Hmm?
Is who are not you? Because you describe who are you, but
Yeah, yeah. Me, I'm not a people who don't respect the rules and the value. What I share with the people with who I work and I am in my life. Yeah, for me the worst in my life when the people don't respect the value and the rules. I hate that. I
okay.
hate that. I hate that. It's a for me when some people don't respect the value and the rules. My value, huh?
Yes.
It's terrible. It's hard for me to accept that.
Yes, sir. Yes. If if you had the opportunity to say something yourself 10 years ago, now you are here, you are 51, no? 51.
51.
You can open a window and suddenly uh, you are speaking with yourself 10 years ago. Yes?
Well, I think I would tell Stefan Lecat when he was 41 years old. Um, um, I will tell him it's not what you see is a reality.
Uh huh. You know, you know. Very
Yeah,
well. Yeah, I understand you. I understand you. But I need a beer to speak with you about this topic. I need a
yeah,
little alcohol to speak with you about this
yeah,
topic.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I will say that.
Okay. Someone in the past um, did a question for you. Yes, I will show you now. It's in
Yeah?
Spanish. I will translate for you the
Okay,
question if you don't understand.
okay,
And it's a very interesting. It's for me. It's a very interesting question. I will now give me 1 second because I am no influencer. I need time to understand some protocols.
okay,
But I think this question is excellent for you. I will show you now.
okay,
Yes, and
okay,
I will try to share with you this because it's very important for me.
okay.
El Daniel de los 62 años,
Es una pregunta que hago bastante. ¿Sí? ¿Cuánto haces de lo tuyo para que se cumpla lo que vos querés que se cumpla? A ver si está más o menos interpretado eso. O sea, vos querés, qué sé yo, que el cuadro ese que tenía atrás tuyo sea negro. Por darte un ejemplo, todo negro, así, sin ninguna imagen. ¿Cuánto haces de lo tuyo para que ese cuadro sea negro? Oye,
¿cuánto,
señor,
pone- cuánto, pones, cuánto pones de vos? Y no dejas a las
claro,
circunstancias.
claro, eso. O sea, de decir, de cuánto te haces cargo vos de lo que está sucediendo.
You
Well,
listen.
no, yeah,
You
listen, but
understand?
I don't
Okay.
understand.
I will try to. I will try to translate for you. The question is
Okay,
something like this. Yes. How much how much are you doing? Because I can say, okay, this process doesn't function because for this, but how much you put from yourself that this process has be successful? You know, what is your responsibility like a coach that this process have been
Oh,
successful?
wow.
You know, this is Daniel Garimaldi, one of the coach that I love him. Is one of
Well,
my reference.
yeah, okay, okay, great. It's a great question. I think for me,
Yes, for you, it's
for
most
me,
important.
when I have a process, um, I believe that my process I propose is the best one in the world. Always. If I when I have a plan, when I have a process, when I decide to make on this process, I have 100%. I'm 100% confident with that, and because if I am not 100% confident about that this process, I think the people around me feel I'm not full sure about that. But when the process give results,
Yes, sir.
I consider that it's not my process makes the results. It's the people achieve the results. So my process is just a help. But for me, at the beginning, I believe 100% of the process, and I love when the people, when the people believe on my process, and go with me. And but when the results is happen with this process, it's not because my process. Well, my process in maybe I don't know. I can't say it's because of my process. It's because the people believe my process and they achieve. Because the most important is the people who work for that, and the athletes, and the swimmers, and without swimmers, without coach, we are nothing. You can have the best process in your life, but if you don't have a swimmers, you can do nothing. But a great manager needs to have a process, believe in his process, to share the process, to influence the process, to give the process to the people. And after, if you have results, it's not because your process is the process of everybody. It's not yours because you share your process for everybody.
Okay, if I can summarize this idea, is the responsibility is to believe in the process.
The responsibility to believe in the process, the responsibility to think about the process. For each situation, for each project, you have a process, and for each person, you have a process. But after you take the responsibility to make the process, your responsibility to share the process to everybody, and everybody understand the process. This is your responsibility. And after that, at the moment you share the process, and at the moment of the people understand your process, it's not only your process, it's the process to everybody, if they go in your process.
Okay,
For me, the most important is to share the process, and everybody how agree with you, and go in the same direction. The worst is when you have a process and the people say, no, I will not do that, I will do this one.
yeah.
And
I
sometimes,
recognize very quickly what you mean.
yeah,
I have
and
thousand. I have a feel
sometimes,
here now.
yeah, and sometimes it's very hard because you have to manage a team, and in your team you have people say, no, but your process, I'm not interested about your process, I will go in this direction. and you have to manage this kind of people, and you know they are not with you, and they don't believe your philosophy, they don't believe your process, and they are in a team, and it's very hard to manage, like, because you know they are in a team, but they are not in your team.
I understand. And the last one to leave you free of me.
Okay.
Yeah. You. I don't know who will be the next, because I never know if it will
Okay.
be a coach or an athlete or a father. I don't know, believe me. But do you have a question that you would like to do to some coach or to some athlete? Do you have a question that you always say, okay, I will ask to other coach this, and you never have the opportunity, or I would like to know this from you, and you don't have the opportunity to ask?
If if you have the possibility to have a great talent in a life, what will be the talent you will choose?
Okay, this question is will we do. I promise you, and I will share the answer.
Okay.
Stephane, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you
Alejandro.
very much for your time and for your knowledge and for your experience.
Thank you, Alejandro. And you are in New York, actually?
I am in New York now. I will return to Ireland on Monday.
Okay, and you are in vacation there?
No, never. I can't.
What are you doing? What are you doing in New York?
I am doing a biomechanic course, a training for
Okay,
biomechanic. Yes, I try to keep my mind working and working and working all the time.
But I follow you on Instagram. I can see you work a lot and hard, and well, it's good. You are in a.
Well, I try. I just try to give to others that many people
Yeah.
give to me in the past.
This is the best. This is the
Just
best.
that.
Okay.
Stephen, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much for your time. Have an excellent night and rest,
You too.
and the best for you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
See
Thank you too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.